Anyone else out having issues? We are live now. Let's hope it cooperates. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, Triumph Tuesday. A lot of things flowing in the air, a lot of weird vibes, I'm going to say. I guess that's the best way to put it. But good morning, everyone. This is Carroll-Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live from Vero Beach with
TwoSistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Janis, aka Wellness Diva, and we are on Triumph Tuesday. You know, we always chat about the triumphs, big, little, and small, and all the in-between kind of stuff. And I think more than ever, it's really important to focus on those triumphs because a lot of us, I think, well, I know for me, are feeling the weight of, excuse me, everything going on in the world today. And some of it were, even though the Constitution is there for a reason, we all know that, the fact that our democracy is being picked apart to suit a party's decision on where they want the country to go. And I am no expert by any means. We never claim to be, and we try to do the best to our ability to research the topics, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't, excuse me, that it doesn't affect us. So what I would like to put out in the universe today, because I am certainly feeling, like I said, I am feeling the weight of everything happening. Shift happens when I decide to take action for myself and do the things that are going to make me feel better. For instance, exercise, mindset exercises, whatever helps you to deal with the divots and the pivots. How do you think about that? And how do you, and I know you just mentioned that you just got back from pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pick up the pieces. And I think, as I was saying, there's just a lot of weird vibes. I mean, I couldn't get on my computer, couldn't get on my phone, rushed back home to do our podcast because that's, an important piece to who we are, and we want to stay dedicated and be accountable. And then there's all these outside forces that, if you're in the car and you've got an appointment to get to, and the traffic's heavy, so that kind of tenses you up. Or, you're trying to launch your live podcast, you're not quite ready because the bandwidths aren't happening. Or you have an injury and you're derailed from your normal exercise routine. Or you are so stressed out, because a lot of people are, that you resort to like eating all the foods that you shouldn't. So how do you combat what is not in your control? And we talk about that often, and I think the country as a whole is kind of feeling like we're out of sorts, we're not in control. And I thought it was very, very sad yesterday listening to Congress, do their opening or closing prayer, I'm not sure which it was, and the stupidity of trying to use the word amen in a gender form, which amen, in Latin means so be it. It is a religious term. It is a righteous term. It's a gratification, amen, we accomplish, but it's a biblical term. It is a religious term. And for Congress to really trying to change the face of who we are as a people, whether it be with our religious beliefs, whether it be, changing words, this whole bullshit, and that would be the word I'm going to use, this whole bullshit about, identifying with. How about start identifying with Americans as a whole and stop the damn labels? I identify being a, this, or I identify being that, which was also brought out in a ridiculous, stupid, stu-nod way last week with, I think it's Alex Baldwin's wife, who has a Spain heritage, but I believe, started growing up in the Boston, Massachusetts area, maybe, mid to late teens. And now, you know, even all her high school friends, all of a sudden she developed this Spanish accent and she's identifying with being Spanish. Well, of course, I would hope we all identify what our heritage is, but to, you know, to make an excuse that people have to now change or act a certain way because they identify. No, you are who you are. God blesses us with who we are. And while, yes, we embrace who we are as a whole, we don't give a facade of being something that we're not. So for me, I embrace that she would embrace her heritage. Of course, we're Italian, we embrace our heritage, but I'm not going to all of a sudden, you know, come up with an Italian accent, which I'd probably flunk terribly only on certain words. But I mean, that you're giving a persona of somebody that you're truly not. And what's okay with just embracing our skin and who we are in the God-given body that, you know, our parents created with, you know, with the blessings of God. So I think there's all of that going on. And then obviously we know what's going on December 6th or January 6th. Some people do, some people don't. I guess it really depends on, you know, where you're actually getting your news sources from. And we get a lot of our news sources from actually podcasts, not always the news channel. And word broke out last night that the leader, Spanish leader, I believe he's, I don't know what his heritage is, doesn't matter. But he is a group, I believe he's the founder of Proud Boys, which is a, I would say a right, very right conservative group that obviously so many are heading, so many patriots are heading to DC. And he was arrested upon landing last night for an incident for allegedly burning a Black Lives Matter flag on December 12th. And I thought that to be quite ironic that here it is January 5th. So you're saying allegedly 3 weeks ago, well, gee, isn't there a lot of video of other people burning our American flag? I don't see any arrest warrants going out for them. But because of, you know, who he's aligned himself with or the group he's created, they felt it was okay to arrest him, which I thought was pretty ridiculous. And then from what I understand, there are a lot of flight delays from certain areas, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Tampa, I believe Seattle, Texas, that people are trying to fly in to support our president on January 6th tomorrow, because tomorrow is the big electoral day. So there's a lot of shifting, feeling, just, yeah. What do you feel it? I mean, everyone feels it.
Yeah, I feel it. In fact, I haven't been sleeping that great, but when I woke up, I was like, you know, kind of like I stumble out of the bedroom and stumble and limp and whatever. And I felt this kind of this weight on my shoulders, like, holy crap, like I just can't fathom what's going on. I can't believe, you know, this time last year and where we are today and everything that has happened. And I was kind of going through the reel in my head. And although, you know, there were many blessings, it really, I felt the weight of it. And it made me feel, I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel a little uneasy. And I just know that I have to go forward and limit my, limit my exposure to the negativity.
Oh yeah, and that is hard to do, and sometimes we need some help. So, you know, I know that we talk about diet and exercise helps, detoxing. We're doing a detox, and I'm super excited because I just got in the Get the Filth Out from this new line, and I absolutely excited because it's going to help with getting out. You know, again, part of the detox, we're doing detox, but it's not just the health and wellness, it's the mindset. It's, you know, clearing your head and understanding that good health transcends to all our different systems. And one of our systems, you know, our emotional state, our endorphins, how are we going to release them when we're under all this, you know, weird vibe feeling. And we know that certain things we need to kind of get rid of in our gut, which is going to help all the other systems. Also, laughter, exercise, anything that releases endorphins are good for your brain. And, you know, it's so easy to say, you know what, don't watch the news, you know, don't get on the podcast, don't get on social media right now if it's, you know, stressing you out. But how many of you, you know, have that moment where, okay, you're in fear of missing out? I think there's like a little tag for that. Fear of missing out, whatever is FM, whatever it is. So you have that fear like, I need to know. And because we're in such a very weird, vibey, you know, pivot, divot, you know, just weird vibe that's going on, there are some concerns that, gosh, if I don't stay on top of it, I'm not going to know. But it's okay to back off a little bit of it. If it gets to be too much, you know, take some time to say, you know what, I need to back off from this. It's stressing me out too much. There are great products out there that can help with, you know, kind of relieving stress, but there's also things that you can do by what you're putting in your body and also getting some activity. Go out for a walk. Weather's not permitting. You got stairs, go up and down your stairs. We always talk about the things that are within. Here's a desk. I can do, look at this. I can do push-ups right here from my desk. You can use your counter to do that. You can do floor exercises. You can do chair exercises. We talked about that. So there are so many great tools out there. And my suggestion, and I'm going to apply it to myself too, is to not get so sucked into what is going on. Now, I do want to stress, because I've got so many friends that are on their way to DC, to keep in mind, because the bandwidths, like I said, they're already acting kooky, which we know that. We were told that, that, you know, a lot of times when you're in the DC area, especially when there's a rally, your data gets jammed up. So you want to keep in mind of that. From what I do understand, the mayor is like trying to close down, and I don't know whether it's true or not, so I want to make sure that I say that. The word is out that she's, you know, trying to close down things. So you might be limited to food and water. So if you're driving, you know, I always say, always think of your fellow mankind. Make sure you've got extra that, you know, if you need to share it with somebody. Be kind. Make sure that you are locking arms with who you're with and you're staying with them, that you don't want to veer off, because sadly, you know, you've got all this going on. And then of course, today we got the Georgia Senate race going on. So there's a lot of stuff in the air affecting us.
Yes, there is. And just as I muted myself because the bird was chirping away, somebody came in and said, I'm going to the store. Do we need anything at the store? And I'm like, I'm on a podcast.
I know. That's why he's at the, I left him at the pickle courts. He was playing
yeah, OMG. But anyways, back to the news and whatnot. Now, what I had heard about the DC mayor, and the news was on. We typically turn it on around 5 when we're starting to get, you know, dinner together. And I believe it was Newsmax. I'm almost positive it was Newsmax because we've been watching that a lot lately. And Gary had heard that the DC mayor has called in the National Guard.
which I don't know that she can actually do that. I'm wondering about that, whether it has to be the governor, and I think there's but you know, who knows? I don't know. For some reason I thought.
I don't know the particulars, but that was the tagline, and I did see through a couple of news reports from different news sources that indeed is what is going on. And what I said to Gary was, well, you know, obviously, I would love to, I'm not going to lie, I would love to be there in person and support our president physically. I'm not able to do so. But if we were to go, and we both kind of said it jokingly, wouldn't it be funny if we stayed with this particular person who lives in Maryland? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a little side joke. But, and I think in times when you do feel that stress, kind of being light and airy about it and telling jokes will also lighten the mood, right? I mean, you know, it was a good thing that I was on mute, and he's like, and I'm like, I wanted to do some sign language, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, I also think that self-care is just so important when you're feeling like, eh. So, I mean, we've got, you know, so much going on. I'm excited because I'm getting my hair done today. That's going to make me feel good. You know, I've got to get those roots touched up, which I'm looking pretty, you know, whatever. And it's funny because a lot of people I've been talking to regarding their hair, and obviously depending on where they live, they actually have taken it upon themselves to do it themselves. I could never do that because I would screw it up so bad. But yeah, I'm going to get my roots done today. I'm so excited. And that's some self-care that's going to make me feel good. That's going to, you know, someone's going to do a little pampering on me, and I'll get my time to like, just chill. So we need those things, you know, go out, you know, even if you can't get your nails done, depending on what's going on in your state, you know, give yourself a manicure, soak your feet, have a bougie bath, you know, anything that's going to help really generate that positivity, that relaxation, that reset, that detox, because sometimes you just got to detox the world, and it is okay. I know people are living in fear that they're going to miss out on something, but at the end of the day, and I find that I even have to remind myself, and I have little notes that we are not in control. We are not in control what goes on in DC. We are not control what goes on in our community. We are only in control. We're not even in control of, like, you know, even, you know, as Americans, we're standing up and we're trying to, I gotta adjust this, trying to, you know, be good Americans, show support. And yet, you know, you may have people in your immediate circle that have opposing viewpoints. And that can certainly add, you know, stress and, you know, kind of that emotion that's adding into all this other emotion. So I think everyone needs to be mindful to pause a little bit. After I saw, I'm not gonna lie, after I saw the Congress doing, I'm not sure even who it was that did the prayer. And he used the word amen in a, I guess, a masculine setting. Then he said a woman, or I don't even know, but I thought a moron. I mean, that was the first thing. And I found myself, and I actually even posted that, like, how many times do you try to post something and you're like, ooh, don't say, hit send, rethink, pause. Type up something. Yeah, type it out again. And you're like, okay, just cover your mouth. And I found myself, I think I wrote out a status. I'm not gonna lie, I know a lot of you out there can relate to this. I wrote a status on my Facebook. I must have wrote it 30 times. Delete, 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 you know, edit it, delete, not post, delete. And I finally just came up, just, you know, just, it was, you know, amen this, or a woman that, and a moron. Because that's what I really felt. I said, what a moron. It's like when Stunad meets his twin Stunad. How he offended so many people, and the whole Congress party of their chambers by just letting this guy spew. I would have been like, pull the cane and get this guy off the microphone. But it really emphasized the turmoil that is going on in our country, that, you know, we think differently, which thinking differently is a good thing. We don't want to all be the same kind of thinkers. You're not going to get anything done that way. You want good ideas, but you want to be mindful of when you open up your mouth. And when you're saying a prayer and then you know, try to use a Latin religious word and make it gender related, you look like an idiot.
Yes, and I have what I call, for me, my favorite 5, and there are so many times that I have wanted to put that as my status, and I may do that and I've had my favorite 5 since before Federal Express, just years. It was just, and my favorite 5 is don't even get me started. And that was kind of my Casella motto. Our maiden name is Casella. And that kind of came about when I think I was a teenager, and it was just a way to, like, if I know that I am right about something, don't back me in a corner, which came, don't even get me started. And I would love to put that on my status. And of course, people, when you see a status like that, have you ever seen like somebody's status and you're like, where is this coming from? And of course, people, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? But I don't want to, it's not about me. It's about everything going around us. There's so many different reels. And if our audiences notice, I've kind of said reel, R-E-E-L, a few times in this broadcast. So I'm just going to kind of jump into another little segment here. So for about the last 4 to 6 months, we have wanted to create another extension of TwoSistas with our very own Facebook group. The time hasn't been right. We ran into some stumbling blocks. Unfortunately, as everyone knows, we've had a rough couple months, our dad passing away. And we've talked about it a lot. And this is something that we want to do for 2021. And we just developed the group, but we are not at that point yet where we want to promote it as of yet. We will be very soon, because we really want to make sure that it is in line with it's going to kind of mirror, obviously, what we're doing with the podcast, but in a different way. So real meaning realistic, empower, elevate, and love. If you would like to be on our pre-list, we'll put the information in there. Let us know. And as soon as it becomes live, we will let you know. We want this to be a way for our listeners and our viewers to connect with us in a different way. And we're just so excited about it. And we can't wait to, offer this free Facebook group where, the theme days, the camaraderie, a safe free zone to chat about our wellness, to chat about different things in a different manner. So I just want to put that out there. And it's called Real Wellness with TwoSistas.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it because a lot of times, when you're on a podcast, we like to cover, obviously, we're authentically us. We can be goofy, we can be serious, we can be tearful, we can be sad, we could be happy, promoting health and wellness and mindset. But with the podcast, it's really just to kind of give you an insight of what we're doing and adding value to your life. Maybe we're adding laughter. Maybe we're adding, some sort of realness that over a topic that you didn't know about. So that's why we talk about a wide range of things, but it's usually centered obviously around health, wellness, mindset. And this new group is going to allow us to dive in deeper with showing things that, of things that we know that work, but also embracing that no one fits into, we're all circles, we're all a coin. I always say we're all a coin, but not all of us, we don't fit into a square box. Now what's going on here? Let's see, hold on, there we go. See this weird, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay, so this is, hold on, sorry about that. The internet is acting a tad goofy again. So hold on, let me see if I can get back to where I can see the audience too. There we go. I think I'm good. Back to meeting. I don't know. See, it's just because I'm on my phone. Normally I'm on my computer, but my computer was acting weird. So there's that weirdness that we're talking about. But this group is going to allow us to really dive in deeper with impacting all of you and helping all of you with your health, your wellness, your what you want to achieve. It's going to give you tidbits. We're going to be talking about all kinds of different things that are not strictly just for women. It's women and men, all age groups, because you know what? Healthy is healthy at any age. There's no age gap on there's no cap on when you stop doing health and wellness, and there's no cap on when you start doing health and wellness. It is something that evolves with your journey, and it changes. And a lot of frequent times we get frustrated when we go from year to year or decade to decade saying, well, geez, I used to always do this workout and it's not working for me now. Or I always used to use this, healthy nutrition program, but geez, I'm feeling stagnant. I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it anymore. It's not doing anything for me. Or you know what, I may need to add something. I got to change something up. And it's a great way for us to really share with you our knowledge and what works and what doesn't work. And also what I love about it is for us to get to know our audience and our listeners better. Because if you're a listener and you currently are on Facebook or haven't joined, this would be a great time to join social media and be involved with different groups that are going to add value and impact your life in a positive way. So we're really pumped about that. We've got so many things going, and here it is. It's only January 5th. January 5th, 5 days into the new year. Did you write that letter I told you to write January 1st? Don't worry. If you haven't, write it today. Talk about your journey, where you see yourself a year from now. I promise you, your future self is going to thank you. Are you part of our detox? What's going on? We're detoxing and resetting. Yesterday, we talked about certain foods that you want to avoid. And today, we're going to touch upon a few little tricks before we let you go today. One of the two things that I absolutely love to start my day out, which is great for your liver and it's great to get rid of the gunk that's in your liver, is lemon water. Now, lemon water is something that you can either have cold or you can have it warm. A lot of times they say that starting out your day with something warmer first thing in the morning actually transcends it much more effective than cold water. But I don't want to discourage anyone because some people like lemon water warm. So I always try to think of, when I think of that, I think of tea. So you really want to start your morning in your detox program, in your reset program with some nice warm lemon water. What kind of trick, I want to say, what kind of tip, not trick, what kind of tip would you tell our audience?
Well, excuse me, a lot of people love to juice. Juicing is a great way to get in, your fiber, all your necessary nutrients and all that good stuff. In the Northeast, if you're in a cold climate, it's not the best idea you could use it as like a snack or as a supplement to a meal, but it's really not a good idea in the wintertime when you're in a colder climate, specifically just to do juicing, just for weight loss or cleansing purposes, because you need some body fat to keep you warm. Your body is working overtime to keep you warm. And when you're juicing, you're taking out probably too much. And as a health coach, I'm not saying not, I'm not saying not to juice. Juicing is wonderful. I know a lot of people who juice, and that can be anything from greens to adding in ginger. There's just so much that you can do with juicing, but just my message or my tip is don't just rely on that, especially if you're in a colder climate. On that note, this is Reel on Triumph Tuesday, the Reel for Triumph Tuesday. I love that. We're so excited about that. Get on the pre-list. We can't wait. We don't just want to open something to open it. We want it to make sure that it is in alignment. How are you aligning yourself with today? On that note, my name is Janis, AKA the Wellness Diva, with two
Sisters, and this is Carroll-Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live from Vero Beach. Little chillier today, but that's okay. That's why I got my long sleeve on, and it's keeping me nice and toasty warm. Keep in mind today and tomorrow, your mindset is key and how you are going to keep going with your journey in a positive way. What I will say is pause, don't just post, pause. If everything is too much, back off and it's okay. I promise you, there'll be so much news and social media going on. I promise you, you won't lose out. You guys have a great Triumph Tuesday, guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Wellness Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.